How could you be consistent with something for 100 days? And in fact, if you were consistent for 100 days, what would you learn? Hi, it's Martin, and I'm coming in with some insights that might help you. Three main insights about my last 100 days. Because on the 1st of January, I set myself a challenge to do 50 consecutive days of rehab and exercise. And I say rehab because, and ironically, today is the 1 year anniversary of my car crash last year. And the neck and the back's healed great. Unfortunately, the shoulder hasn't. So we're still having scans, we're still having treatment, we're trying to figure out what's going on and how we get this fixed. The first 6 months of support after the accident were fantastic. The second part, the 6 months since, not been so great. So I've really been left to my own devices. So at the beginning of the year, I needed to take control of what was in my control. Yes, I can poke and prod and push and fight the case for support, but really I needed to take control of what was in my control. And so what I set myself was, in my 50th year, so my 50th birthday in January, I set myself a 50-day challenge. Do 50 consecutive days of rehab and exercise. And those 50 days have turned into 100 days that I'm celebrating today. Now, how's that possible, and what have I learned along the way? Well, first and foremost, and you are going to recognize this if you've listened to my videos before or seen any of my content before, I wouldn't have been able to have done this if I hadn't have got really honest about where I was, what I was capable of, what I wasn't capable of, and how uncomfortable I was with some of that. Some of it out of my control, because I really do have limitations with both the movement of my arm and also the pain. But also being honest about my more general fitness and what I could do, but I can't because my fitness isn't quite where it needs to be. Getting uncomfortable about that, I had to get honest about that. And then I had to get clear about, well, where do I want to be? And this, for me, it was a case of, well, until we figure out what's going on with this shoulder and potential operations or some kind of treatment, some kind of procedure, before then, I'd like to live as full a life day to day as possible. And I want to push the boundaries of what I can physically do, but without obviously putting myself at more risk. So I wanted to improve my quality of day to day. That in itself is a massive motivator. But after this is fixed, I'm jumping out of planes and doing climbing and snowboarding. I've got adventures to do. I've had to put things off for an entire year because of this. I'm desperate to get back. And I can't afford to wait until we fix this to then work on my fitness so that I'm fit enough to do those things. But if I work on it now, if I'm working on it in advance, I'm going to be so much further along the line, even if I got to take time out for a shoulder operation or procedure. So I'm then looking, yes, day to day right now, yes, the future. And then obviously there is that whatever is going to need to be done. If I'm stronger and fitter, I'm going to respond to that procedure, that operation, whatever it might be, a heck of a lot better than if I wasn't. And really importantly, I'm going to recover quicker. So, and it doesn't take long for me to think this through, and none of that is rocket science. And I'm sharing this with you because it's my live example, but to show that this doesn't have to be complicated. I want to improve my day to day because I'm honest about what I can and can't do as a result of what I am or aren't doing at that time. I'm looking towards the future, and I'm looking at that bit in the middle where I know something's coming and I need to be as prepared as possible, and no one else is going to prepare me for that. I got to take that responsibility, accountability, and that control over that, because I can do stuff that can help me. So when you put all that together, that is a hugely motivating package that's going to help you when times gets tough. And trust me, there were days when it was tough. But I can tell you now, there is no way without that I'd have been working out on New Year's Day. I mean, that's the easy. First and foremost, your first day is the easiest to put off. Come on, how many first days have you put off? But New Year's Day, what are you talking about? We've just been celebrating all night, so we're exhausted. We're still in, the decorations are up. We're still in the Christmas party mood. I'm preparing a nice, beautiful roast dinner for New Year's Day. It's family time. The last thing I want to be doing is working out. And if I was honest, year after year, I've gone, I'm going to work out more, but not today, because it's New Year's Day. But this year, I wasn't prepared to do that. No. It starts today. But there's no way I'd have started on New Year's Day. There's no way I'd have been working out on my birthday, on my wife's birthday, on my sister's birthday, on Valentine's Day, on Easter Day, on the days when we travel to London for the day as a family, on the days when I travel to Wales for business. There is no way, unless I had really grounded that honesty, that clarity, and that passion, there's no way I would have done it. I wouldn't have followed through on those days, let alone the days in between when it felt really tough and I was absolutely exhausted. Because I've had a year without decent night's sleep. Because as soon as I lie down, I'm in pain because of my shoulder. So I've not had a decent night's sleep for an entire year. The compound effect of that is catching up. And then you have a bad night with that. The last thing you want to be doing when you wake up in the morning is working out, because you just haven't got the energy. But I did, because of the honesty, the clarity, the passion. So that is the first part of this. And please apply this in any area of life. Anything you want to get more consistent at. And I don't care what it is. Whether it's date nights with your partner, or time with your children, or sending more emails, or making more phone calls. Whatever it might be. Or it might be fitness. Or it might be about what you're eating. Whatever it is that you want to be more consistent at, please start with this. I didn't need to prove this, because it's proven to me over years of practice anyway, and it's what I do with my clients. But the first 3 steps: get honest, get clear, get passionate. They set you up for any change, achievement, or improvement that you want to make. And I did it again. I used it again for these 100 days, and look where I am now. And the other part of this, so you've got all that can drive you. You've also got to set yourself up for success. Right? So the second thing I want to share, set yourself up for success. Reduce the amount of barriers and obstacles and excuses that are going to get in your way on a day-to-day basis. So I had to make this as simple as possible. So if I was to say, right, I'm going to commit to being in the gym 3 hours a day, every day, that shizzle ain't going to happen. I don't have 3 hours, and that's in the gym, let alone the fact there's shower time and there's the commute time. So you can say goodbye to 4 hours at your day. And even if you said, it's 2 hours, you can say goodbye to probably, 2.5 to 3 hours of your day. You've got to make it manageable. Now, could you build up to a longer time? Yeah, but that's why I started with a half-hour workout. I took all the exercises. I had the rehab exercises from the hospital, from my doctor, from my physio, and created the rehab part of my workout using just one resistance band, which I borrowed. Again, how many excuses? I don't have the equipment, or it's expensive, or you don't need a gym. I got a resistance band for a whole bunch of rehab. Then I did some body weight stuff, and then I've got a dumbbell that I've had for years that I've used that I can, add weights to. That's it. And I do it in the hall of my house. I've made it really easy and simple. So I'm not going, I gotta get to the gym, or I gotta get in the car, and I gotta, all dress up. The basic routine that I've got, and it did change on certain days, but I wake up, my feet hit the floor, I get my shorts on, down into the hall, work out. The dumbbell and the resistance bands are right there. Boom, off we go. First thing I do. So I made it really simple for me. I haven't got to think about all the stuff. The stuff's already there, it's ready, it's easy and accessible, and I can just get it, and I get it done in half an hour. And it's a great workout, and it's working a treat, shoulders bigger, stronger, arms bigger, stronger, chest bigger, stronger, abs are coming through, butt's a little firmer, I'm feeling the benefit of it. A little bit slimmer in the face. It's making a difference. But I had to make it simple for me to actually do this. Otherwise, if it becomes complicated, or it's just a bunch of reasons why I won't follow through. So, again, honesty, clarity, and passion, right? To begin with. Then you've got to set yourself up for success by making it easy for you to be able to do this thing. Make it manageable. If I use the example of making calls, you don't start off with going, I'm going to make 500 calls today. Maybe you're going to make 5. And if you weren't doing any before that, that's a massive shift. Maybe next week you'll do 10 a day. But you build up to it. You make it manageable. You get the momentum going. And then you can extend it. And my workout now, I extend it to, it's 40 minutes. But I'm doing pretty much the same things, just a couple of things that the hospital have added in. But it's there, it's easy, it's simple. And the other thing, the third thing I wanted to share with you, and it's something that really you have to experience it in order to understand it. Because the biggest part of all of this, so yeah, I'm fitter and stronger, and it's kind of out of proportion to the fact that this shoulder still doesn't work. But the unexpected thing, and I've talked about this throughout the last 3 months, it's that feeling that you've made a promise to yourself and you've followed through and kept it. That is the biggest sense of achievement, sense of fulfillment that I've got from this process. And I've experienced it in other areas, but not like this, with this sort of thing, with this intensity of every day. And I want to give you the best example of this, that it was recent. It was Easter Day. So Easter Day, really recent. And it hadn't had a good night, so I was pretty tired. We had a bit of a lie-in, cool. But as soon as we were up and awake, it's Easter. We're checking out where the Easter bunny's been, right? So we're all rushing down as a family. Is the Easter bunny been? And the Easter bunny's laid out a trail, and we're hunting all over the house for loads of eggs, and some of them were pretty elusive. So we're having all the fun of the fair. I mean, it's a fantastic way to start that Easter. I had a big roast dinner that I was preparing as well, so that was for lunchtime, before then going off to my family. My mum and dad and all the family were coming around for afternoon and evening of games and celebration and get together. So it was a full-on day, and I knew as soon as the day started, right, this isn't one of those jump out of bed, get my workout done straight away. And let me just also say, I am not part of the 3 a.m. club, 4 a.m. club, 5 a.m. club, 6 a.m. club, or even the 7 a.m. club. I am not a morning person, and I don't do that. I don't subscribe to that. It's what you do during the days the hours that you're awake that matters, not the time that you get up. So just a little aside. So it's not like I'm fitting this in because I'm getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm getting up just usual, 8 o'clock and beyond. So what happened on that Sunday, I knew as soon as Easter started, opening up, I knew this wasn't going to be a day when I jump out of bed and do the workout. So I just promised myself that, look, we're just going to have a great time. We're going to have fun. I'm not putting any pressure on anybody else because this is my thing. Nobody else needs to know. I'll do it later. And I knew that later would mean after we came back from my mum and dad's. Well, what I didn't expect was for us to walk through the doors back home at 11:05 at night. So 11:05 at night, I've not done my workout yet. Now, come on, how easy would it be? Go, well, we'll just skip today or whatever. No, 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 no. I can't remember what day it is. We were in the late 80s or the early 90s at that point. It was like, no, no, this is still happening. I committed to myself that it was going to happen. This is a promise to myself. I'm keeping this. And the beautiful thing about this was, the boys got home and made sure that they went to bed and all that kind of stuff. But there was no pressure from me to, oh, can you hurry up? Because I need to get my workout done. I've learned from that. I learned from that in the corporate world when it was like, trying to hurry your young children to bed because you've got work to do. That sucks. That's not okay. Learned that lesson. So I just, give them the time, but it was late, so people were tired anyway. They wrapped up 25 past 11. 25 past 11. Right. Let's get the workout in. Right? And I did the workout in the way that I usually do it, in the same amount of time and pace that I usually do it. And it got to the final circuit of the weight training part, and I was up against the clock because for me, I wanted to make sure that I got it done and finished by midnight. That was my thing. That's what I set myself. So I had to do that. I did that last circuit slightly quicker than I normally would, but really importantly, kept the form. Anybody who works out knows that the form is really, really important. And I must admit, by doing it slightly quicker, there was a bit of there was more energy involved. It got things firing up. It was like that's a great process in itself. And I kid you not, the moment I finished the last rep, the clock ticked over to midnight. You literally couldn't script it. You like if you had tried to do it, you wouldn't have done it. But it all just came together where I got that work in those 24 hours as I committed to myself, and I did it. I tell you what, there's never been more celebration after a workout than that moment right there. There was air grabs and fist pumping. I was buzzing. And it was all because I kept that commitment to myself, despite the fact I had to use every second left in the day to fulfill that commitment to myself and not bow down to excuses or reasons or chalk it off that, it's Easter, it was a bit of a day. I still did it. And like I said, it's really difficult to explain what that feeling, that sensation is. But if you've ever experienced it, you know what I'm talking about. It's freaking magical. And as I have said so many times this year already, I think some of the most important promises you make, the most powerful and empowering promises you can make, are the ones that you make to yourself and follow through on. Nobody else knows, nobody else is involved, but you know if you don't show up. And I'll tell you, there was just a little story that on that Easter day, at that time of night, when I was then doing that, a story came into my head from Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, right? Man of the moment right now. A few years ago, he did a video. If you know him, he works out every day religiously. It's his anchor. And now, after 100 days, this has become my anchor. It grounds you. It's the thing you do that just, yes, this is my day. And he'd had a whole day of traveling and he didn't get to his hotel until about like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. And he hadn't done his workout yet. And I remember him saying, it would be so easy right now for me just to go to bed because this has been a hell of a long day, a lot of traveling. It's crazy o'clock in the morning and no one else is going to know if I didn't work out today. But I will. I'll know. I'll know that I skipped. I know that I made an excuse because I had the opportunity to do it. Now his clock worked differently, right? For me, it's that 24-hour day clock. For him, it was for as long as I'm awake during the day, I'm going to get that workout in. And he did it and he felt really good about it. And that's kind of what sort of drove me, because once you've got that sort of drive, when it's about not about making any promises or keep promises to anybody else, it's about what you keep for yourself. That is so powerful. But so often in life, how many promises do we kind of make? Oh, I'll do that today. Oh, I'll do that today, or I'll do that this week, and then we don't. And we just, all these things stack up where we're a I will but then don't sort of person. But when you really step up, when you go, right, enough's enough, I'm stepping up now, and I'm going to show up, and I'm getting honest, I'm getting clear, I'm getting passionate, I'm setting myself up for success, and I'm going to see this through no matter what, because this is so important to me. It's part of who I am. That whole new level. Then go and apply that to any other area of life, because you're going to want more of it. This, my friends, has been my last 100 days. And just three simple things that have really stood out from these last 100 days. How you set yourself up for success in the first place by going deep, by making it easy, is so important. And then you following through on the promise you made to yourself. That's magical. That's powerful. And you can apply it to any area of life. And I hope I've shown you that, this isn't about, oh yeah, but Martin's had all the resources, or he's got all the money, or he's got a homemade gym in his house, or he's got a personal trainer come in, or name the list of excuses why somebody else is doing what you'd like to do, but you can't, or you think you can't. I hope I've really made it clear that no, this is just a grounded family. I'm busy with my business, my wife's busy in business, my kids are busy, we've got after school clubs and evening clubs, and we've got everything else that every other family has got. And this is something that I genuinely have struggled with for, if I'm honest, a few years, in terms of its consistency and consistent intensity. It was just a case of, right, no more. I'm not prepared to not hold myself to account like this anymore. I'm going to step up. And I made it as easy as possible for me to have that success. And here we are 100 days later, and I'm feeling damned good about it and damn proud about it. I'm really excited about the next 100 days and how I'm using this exact same process, exact same feelings in other areas of my life. It's going to be a heck of a year. And one of those realizations was, like, I got to the middle of February and thought, wow, a couple of years ago, if at best I was probably doing a workout once a week. By the middle of February, I'd already done an entire year's worth of working out that I did a couple of years back. It really puts things into perspective. And I know for certain at this point, having done 100 days, I have done more exercise in this 100 days, and here we are in April, than I have all of last year, all of the year before. Heck, I haven't done the sums, but maybe even combined. And nothing has changed other than my commitment to myself. So I'm wishing you well. I hope this has resonated. I hope this has been insightful. I hope it's lit a spark in you. I'd love to hear what you're going to commit to, something that's been bugging you, something you want to improve or change or achieve. Now is a great time to start. You can start at any time and just make that commitment to yourself, and just use those insights I've given you. Get honest about things. What are you missing out on as a result? What can't you do as a result of you not taking action? Where do you want to be day to day? Where do you want to be in the future? What are you having to overcome in order to do it? Make it as easy as possible. Make the commitment and follow through, because it will have an effect on you that nothing else can, because it's all about you making promises to yourself and following through. I think you're the kind of person that can do that, that wants to be that kind of person. And if you can do it in one element of life, man, you can do it in other elements of life. And let's just see the quality of our lives improve. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you got massive benefit from this. Share what your thoughts are. I'd love to know what you think. And I'll speak to you again real soon.